Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Blue Monday! Yay, Blue Monday! Blue Monday is going to take us through a whole bunch of different blocks, learning a whole bunch of different new techniques, or, you know, maybe new to you, but if you're a beginner, but new techniques that talk about using up your blue and white scraps. Now, I'm using blue and white because I'm overrun with blue and white scraps, so this is what I'm using, but you are welcome to use whatever color you want or whichever one you're overrun with. Today we're going to do a cute one called Criss Cross, and it's based on dark, mediums, and lights. So this one is a real fun one, very quick, and it also talks about your setting triangles on the outside edge. So that's going to be a cute little learning tip today. But first, let's get to our shout out. Our shout out is Lauren at Laureen Young. Now, her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below. Now, those show notes are so important that you access them because they also give you the Facebook group, the Zoom sew dates that we're hosting here, and they also give you cutting instructions and everything else. Plus, it gives you access to those the collaboration that we're working on now. And those blocks that we're working on in this collaboration are absolutely stunning. We're still pattern testing, but when we're filming this, it's like May 13th. And yeah, those blocks are beautiful. So this is a very quick one. So come on in. Let's get to the sewing. I'll talk more about all that stuff as we're sewing. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and this one comes together really well. Now, if you've ever decided you wanted to put a quilt on point, this is how you would go about it, right? I mean, you're setting triangles on the side, right, are going to help with this. Now, what has happened is we cut so that the outside edge is not on the bias, and that's very important, right? So when you're doing stuff like, smaller blocks like this, this block here has to be quite a bit larger, and this block here, this has to be like 7 1/4 to make this, these 4.75 inch squares work, right? So, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of fiddling and a little bit of, but it works. Now, when you're sewing this together, there's really no, you have to kind of think about it this way. This is row 1. Oh, this triangle is row 1. This is row 2. This is row 3. This is row 4. This is row 5, right? That way it works, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to just take row 2 first, and we're going to line up so that this, okay, so this is going to perfectly match along this line. So you want to square this up, right? So basically, I took it from here, right? I took it from here, and I'm going to square up this line and sew across here. Now, there's a little tail there. That's fine. That's fine, because that's where you want that to work. That it's going to work for you. Don't worry about it. So you want to take this and you want to sew this. Just like this, all the way to the end. Now on this row, you want this centered. Right now, you can kind of guess. Now, some people, what they do is they kind of guesstimate as to their, points over or whatever. You can fold it across and see exactly. I mean, I'm a guesstimate kind of I've been doing this for a while, so I guess I am a guesstimate person. Not a real big fan of sewing all these little pieces. So, there. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to put row 2 back, and you're just going to finger press that very lightly. Very lightly. Just like this. So then you're going to sew this one, and this is where you sew, and you want to line that up the best you can. Just, with all of these blocks, just try your best. I'm very intrigued with stuff, blocks like this. So now this block and this block, I'm going to put the center block. I'm just going to push that up out of the way. Okay, then this comes down, And I line that up. Okay. Alrighty. So I guess I can start on row 4, right? Because this is how this is gonna go. Alright, so this is where I'm lining it up. I get that nice. You can't really web this, or at least if you can, I haven't been able to figure out how to do it. So I take this and I sew it this way. Okay. Okay. Now you want to take this and this and put that together and take care to line up this because you're sewing along here, right? So just take your time. You know, kind of massage it in place. Sometimes you have to kind of like, okay, we're doing this. Okay. Now, the last piece there, and I'm going to press all of this to the center. There we go. Now this is where this goes. All right. So now, I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. I mean, the right way is you press this in half, and you get kind of that, squish it really good so you have a little mark. Then you line this up in half, and you squish that in there until you get a good mark. Now you line up your marks perfectly. You can even drop a pin in there if you want, and you are right in the middle of that triangle. That didn't take long. That's, like I said, that's just the quickest method. If you must mark, that's how you would mark it. Okay. Now, okay, nice quick little line there. So I'm going to sew this one and this one. Okay. Again, we can just do the quick little squish line there up. And then I'm going to line up these outer edges and get a little squish in there so I know exactly where that middle has to go. There we go. All right. Oops. There. Now, I'm just going to push that out of the way. When you're pushing these dark ones, remember that's a bias edge, right? So don't push too hard. Okay, another one where we're just going to line up this. Get that lined up and then squish right in the middle to make a little mark. Basically, you're making a tiny little divot there in the fabric that you can line up. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to press this in. Oops, I should have went the other way. Yeah, I'll mark the divot the other way then. Okay, so this divot now fits perfectly into that divot. And there we go. Okay, now you just push this up out of the way. And you don't have to get like crazy in there. So now that's going to all work together like this. And I'm just going to roll this off. You can see what I'm doing. Okay. So that's what you're doing now. So this line gets, first we're going to sew this together. Now, you have a choice. You can put this on the bottom. Now what I do is I push these in. These ones got pushed out. So this is perfect. Perfect place to match up stuff. And I am going to pull out my pins for this. Then I don't want to be pulling and whatnot on this block. I'm just going to match up my points. Make sure that I have good, like good cross intersection there. And just get a pin. Just pick up one. I don't like pins because sometimes I have a hard time picking them up. Okay. So now you're going to wiggle this over just a bit. So it lies flat and straight. Okay. There we go. Yeah. There. I'm going to go right up to that seam and just pull that pin. There we go. There. These are great ones for using up those 5-inch, those uneven 5-inch. I don't know. I never have luck with buying those little 5-inch things. They just never work out for me. Okay, so I'm just gonna press this way, just straight out, and I've got good, like, because I took my time and nested. I've got good points matching. All right, I've got good points now on this. Let's get this other one done. I'm just gonna move this out of the way. And I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. Line them up, sew it down. And this works, like, I mean, if you went really crazy scrappy, or you went, you know, like did a few more rows of squares around the center, I mean, you could have quite a large block. And the setting triangles then are going to be the same. You just might need more of them, right? So this is how they go about making the trip around the world blocks. Okay, so let's get this pulled over so that it lines up well. There we go. And get right up to that pin and pull. Okay, here we go. You're right up to the pin. All you have to do is cross the seam. Like, all you have to do is cross the seam, and you can pull your pin with your needle down. There we go. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to the back side. I'm going to take it now, and I'm going to, because this is all straight grain on the outside now, right? And some of it doesn't look quite like doesn't look like it's 12.5 inches, you know, because there's bits and pieces hanging out. Well, you would put your 12.5 inch square down and you would trim it. But this is how it's going to be ironed, right? So you've got, you know, this center piece, you know, all laying out. I mean, and then this part here is facing in, so all of this lays nice, right? So that's a really good thing to know on how you're going to do your pressing, right? So, anyways, we'll give it a good press. We'll square it up, and we'll come back for our big ta-da moment. Okay, this was really cool to make. And my husband's giving me a hard time about saying, you're always saying it's fun to make. It is. It's a fun hobby. And he doesn't get that. So I do hope you give this one a try. What I trimmed off of this was like, we're talking like threads. Like literally, and the little dog ears are now all gone. So, I mean, that's something about how well this went together. And, you know, it speaks to like putting it, and there's no bias edges. That's really important that we do this. No bias edges. So, you can make this one as large as you wanted. You just have to cut more triangles. Well, the corner piece ones would only be 4, but you'd have to cut more of the larger ones. So it would be up to you how big you wanted to make your blocks, or, you know, and it is a lot of fun to do. Okay, so I do hope you give it a try, and I hope things are going great for you and life is treating you very gently. So until we see each other again on Blue Monday, take care and have fun. Bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts. Okay, so you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again. Okay, bye.